came to this country as minors failed in the Congress because too many Democrats opposed it. Seems like a long time ago. Now, many Republicans are lining up to say they want to finish the job. Some are willing to reinstate DACA unconditionally. Others are suggesting a possible deal along these lines. Amnesty for DACA in return for a border wall on the Mexican border. Congressman Eric Swalwell isn't interested in that deal. He said it would, quote, just give you a pass to be a slight racist on Monday so you can be fully racist on Tuesday. Congressman Swalwell joins us tonight to explain. So DACA, if you're opposed to it, that makes you a racist?
Hey, good evening, Tucker. Also, just want to update your viewers. I am working with Republicans on the stranded Americans in the Caribbean right now. It's not just the people who are going to be hit in Florida. We have thousands who were in the Caribbean and other countries. So just an update that we're working with the State Department on that. Good for you. So, Tucker, I do want to say that I believe that Donald Trump's wall and the premise for his wall, yes, is racist. Having border security is a responsibility we have, but these dreamers are a part of our country, and whether you follow the Bible and believe that we don't punish the children for what their parents did, or you just think it's our country's obligation to make sure that law-abiding kids who came here by no fault of their own have a pathway to be a part of our community, we should make this happen as soon as possible.
So there are two obvious questions. I mean, do you have any kind of problem with the law itself, with the idea that the president, if he doesn't like a law, can just invalidate it? I mean, could Trump do that with taxes and just say, I'm not prosecuting anyone who's not paying certain kinds of taxes? That's my tax reform? Does that bother you at all?
I actually agree with the president that the Congress should codify, should put this into law. And we tried, and it was actually a majority of the Senate and 59 senators, and every Democrat, and almost a majority of, actually a majority of the House passed this. So it was hundreds of Republicans who voted against this. President Obama sought to save these children, but we should actually pass it in Congress. Tucker, what the president could do, though, because he's creating ambiguity, is just say, put the DREAM Act on my desk and I'll sign it. But he's not saying that. What he's saying
but
is
here's part
Congress should do
no,
something.
I get what yeah, Congress should figure it out. I mean, you're adults, and you never will. But here's my question, though. I think everyone recognizes this is a tough spot for some of these kids, now adults. You know, they were brought here when they were really little, and, you know, you get it. It's a complicated deal. The concern is, though, that if you allow them to become citizens, it's an inducement to the rest of the world to come here with kids in tow, because then they can't be deported. I guess, what's the limit? Like, how many people should we let in with minor children? Like, what's the number?
The DREAM Act actually doesn't allow them to become citizens. It allows them to work here. I have constituents who...
But they're never going to be deported. It's the same thing. They're never going to be deported. And you'll be pushing, I'm sure Democrats will be pushing for them to have voting rights soon. But the point is,
I think they should be able to apply for citizenship. Sure.
Right. Okay. So it's the same thing. So, but how many? How many get to do that? I mean, there are a billion people who'd want to move here tomorrow. Like, are they all allowed to move here now? Like, what's the number? Make us
sure, Tucker. And you're presenting a theoretical challenge. I'm presenting the 800,000. Well, there's 800,000 people who actually are here, and they have faces, and they're contributing to our military and to our police forces, and you know they're doing a lot of good. And so let's solve that issue, and then have comprehensive immigration reform and take on the larger, I think, valid question that you're asking.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it now, because you're setting up a precedent. What you're saying to the world is, as long as you get here illegally with a kid under 16, you can't be deported. And so that's a massive inducement for people to come here illegally. As you well know, you're from California. The state has been totally changed by illegal immigration, as you know, since you grew up there, as I did too.
Largely for the better.
What's the number? Really? Because actually the poverty rate in California has risen dramatically since I left there in 1983. It was 11% in 1983. It's now over 16%. Made that state richer, it's made it much poorer. Yeah. So, like, why wouldn't we be concerned about that in the rest of the country?
We would love to have you back, Tucker, but what we should do in Congress is take on comprehensive immigration reform. 68 senators, Republicans and Democrats, had a pathway to citizenship that did not have the undocumented cut the line of people who were already waiting. It would have a more, I believe, functioning system that had order in it and allowed people to be a part of this great American country.
What are the rules? So I show up here illegally. Under what circumstances can I be deported? Let's say I show up, I don't commit a felony. Can I be deported under any circumstances, do you think?
I think you should come forward, Go through the process. If you're not committing crimes or contributing to our economy, you should not be removed. We want you to be a part of this country in an orderly way.
So that's open borders. That's open. I mean, what you're saying is nobody can be deported unless you commit a felony. So you're just saying the borders are meaningless. I can sneak in, and as long as I don't commit a felony, I can't be deported. Why is that different from open borders? It's not. It's the same thing.
Well, because we have a broken immigration system right now, Tucker, people are coming in that way. I think if you fix the immigration system, have certainty that you won't see what you're describing.
So what's the certainty? That's my question. That's my question. What's the rule that you would like to see become law? So after this comprehensive immigration reform, no one who comes in illegally can stay. Everybody is deported who comes in illegally after this law passes. Is that what you're saying? I doubt that's what you're saying.
What I'm saying is the Senate passed a bill that increased Border Patrol agents so that you would limit the number of people who were coming across the border. I welcome enhanced border security. I just don't think a wall is the best way to do it.
But once they get here, once you're in the country, under your scenario, can you be deported? Because if you can't be deported, then you have open borders, right?
We should have a system that has order and removes people that don't follow that system. Right now, we have disorder. Tucker, it doesn't help families. It doesn't help our security.
I agree. I totally agree. So you're saying that anyone who comes here illegally should be deported after this law is passed. Is that what you're saying? I just want to get you on the record.
We should create an orderly immigration system. Right now, Tucker, these kids who have said the same Pledge of Allegiance as kids born in the United States are going to be removed.
Right.
That's not right.
My concern is for Americans first. I guess that's
mine too.
Mine
too.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate it.